A couple of hours ago, while I was scrolling through TikTok, I came across a video where uh, John Cena was being asked if he has children, and responded by saying no, he doesn't. He does not want them. And the guy that was interviewing him laughed a little bit, and John Cena said, "Yeah, I expected that," but he explained why he doesn't want to have children. It has to do with him being a busy guy. He doesn't know if he will be able to be there for his children. He understands how important uh, it is to be present in your kid's life. Like raising a kid isn't just about being able to support them financially. They will need they will need their father. They will need their mother. So you need to be there so that they don't feel neglected. When other kids talk about their dad, they're also able to talk about their dad. When other kids talk about their mom, they're also able to talk about their mom. Kids look up to their parents. Kids love their parents. Kids need their parents. So you can have all the money in the world. You can give your children all the money in the world, but that's still not enough. If you're not there, uh, your child is going to grow up feeling like something is missing. So I'm glad that John Cena actually understands that. John Cena is loved by many people, is loved by many kids. You can tell that he would actually be a better father than most guys who are having children. Like uh, when you look at him, you can see that he does have a good heart. You can see that he will try his best to be there for his children. You can see that he's very capable of being a great parent. You can see that he will be able to take care of his kid financially. He will be able to show love to his kid. Like I don't think he's the kind of guy that will like neglect his kid. But just looking at him, I can see that he will be a good father. I wouldn't say a great father, but he will be. I mean, he he is capable of being a great father. But I would guarantee that he will be a good father, right? Because being a great father would really mean that you would have to be there, like 100%. You have to be there for your kid. But being a good father means that yeah, whenever it's possible, you are there for your kid, but your life doesn't necessarily revolve around your kid. After watching that clip, I decided to do some research on him, and I found out that um, his wife to be left him because he doesn't want to have children. There was a woman in his life that he loved. The problem was that she wanted kids and he didn't want kids. He loved her. He's not the one who left her. She's the one who left. She left because he didn't want kids, and he didn't like change. He didn't decide that okay, I'm gonna have kids because you know I love this woman. If I don't have kids, she's gonna leave. He strongly feels like uh, him having children wouldn't be the right thing to do. Even if it meant that he loses the person that he wanted to marry. Because as a guy who has like a lot of options, I do think that he would marry the woman of his dreams. Like he wouldn't just marry a woman just because she is what's available. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of women who will die to marry him. So he chose her because she was what he really wanted. But he decided that no, I'm not going to change my views. I still don't think that it would be a good idea for me to have children. Someone like John Cena could have had children and not even like be there. I mean, his wife had a good job. He could have been able to support them financially and just do his own thing. And because he'll be competing against fathers who are not famous, who do not have money, who do not have good jobs, uh, who are also broken, just like everyone else in this society. It will seem like he's a great father, even if he's not really there for his kids. So it wouldn't be a lot of work, but the fact that he was able to think for his children like that, that touched my soul. The fact that he was like, yeah, society would actually praise me for having children. Yes, I would be able to keep my wife if I decided to have children with her. If you've never been in love before, you'd never understand the pain of losing the person that you love and seeing them marry someone else, especially if that person meant the world to you as a guy. Like, I know what that's like. For me, it was worse because that person left me, and I couldn't get her back. I remember I had a conversation with my cousin, and like it took me more than 2 years to actually talk about the breakup. Like, I couldn't talk about the breakup. I only spoke to my mom about the breakup, but no one knew. Like, the people who knew that I was dating this girl, but they didn't really. Like, only one of my friends met her. They'll ask me about like he will ask me about her, and I would just say it's all like me and her are still cool. We're still dating, because I didn't want to talk about the pain. Like, I was in so much pain when we broke up. That I remember telling my cousin that because she knew how much I loved her, she said something when we were having a conversation. Now, in South Africa, in Joburg, there are these people in the street who like have this pamphlets with the numbers of some traditional doctors that can bring back your lover. So she was like, "Hey, I hope you don't go to those people, to those bring back your lover people." I felt offended. I felt offended, but I knew that she knows that I love her, and I wanted her back in my life. She just didn't want to be like. There's the moment that I realized that she didn't want me back. But my cousin said something funny. He was like, "Nigga, don't tell me you weren't thinking about doing that." But no, I wasn't. I just felt like I'll do anything for her, but I wouldn't do something like that, because it's just it's stupid. I don't believe in that. I don't even believe this. I believe this guy is a scam artist. But I did feel like I will do anything to keep her, right? So John Cena, even though he knew exactly what he had to do to keep his wife, he was like, "I'm not having children," because he understood the implications of having children. I wish that we lived in a world where people think like John Cena. Society will be much better, because those who decide to have children will be people who will really be ready to have children and who would know what to do. They'll ask themselves the right questions. Am I capable of being a good father? Am I capable of being a good mother? Do I live in a good environment? Is this the kind of environment that I can raise my child in? Do I have money? Do I really have money? Because your children will need a lot of things. You don't want to be this parent who can't provide for their kids and they have to grow up suffering because of you, because you didn't think about your situation. That's wrong. In my opinion, it is wrong to bring a child into this world if you have nothing to give them. Like, if you can say that I don't have money, I'm struggling, and you're like, I'm gonna have children because, I feel empty, or there's this person that I love and that's in my life. If I don't have children with them, they might leave, so I must have children. People ain't honest. So children are brought up in an environment that is bad for them, being raised by people who are not there for their emotional needs. Or can't really provide what they need. And they grow up broken in a society that is actually broken, and we expect people to be great. That's unfair. Everything counts. I remember I used to tell my mom that life is like a relay race. We have to understand that in this world, those who come before us, if they don't do very well, we definitely going to suffer. We're going to definitely pay for our parents' sins. That's how it works in this world. If I decided to have children and I know that I didn't do very well in life, my children would have to pay for my sins. They would have to suffer the consequences of me not being able to do enough and still deciding to have them. A lot of people think that suffering builds character. I used to think that way too, until I realized that people who suffer a lot, they do become broken. And even if they seem strong, there will be something in them that would have died. There will be something in them that would have been broken. So you might see someone who has been through hell, and you see them inspiring a lot of people, helping a lot of people, and you're like, yeah, them suffering build their character. Nah, you don't know how they feel. You don't know if they are happy. You might find that they can't have good relationships with other people because of how they've been raised. So yes, because of what they've been through, they understand people and are able to help people, but what's going on in their personal lives, you don't know. what goes on in their own, inside their heads. Like what goes on inside their heads. How do they really feel? You don't know. You might see a person who's super successful, who has been through hell, and just think them being through hell like really made them what they are, and that's a great thing. Some people are broken forever. No matter how things turn out in their lives, like it doesn't really matter how things turn up. It's they're broken. So if your parents weren't there when you were growing up, and now you feel like um, you can't like have good relationships, it might have to do with that, and you don't know. You can't even make that connection. Maybe your father left while you were still young, and as a woman, you feel like every guy is gonna leave, because that's maybe the worst pain that you felt was a man that you needed living your life. So because of that, you feel like men will live your life, and you don't even treat them the way that you know men want to be treated, because you're scared, and that they leave, and then you start to believe that every man that comes into your life will leave. It's what you've been through that makes it hard for you to keep to have good relationships. Maybe you felt misunderstood when you were a kid. Your parents didn't understand you. You were different, so your parents didn't understand you, and because of that, you felt like you always needed to explain yourself. You always felt like people don't understand. You felt like even when people did understand you, you felt misunderstood, because the people who were supposed to understand you didn't understand you, because uh, they didn't have the intelligence required to understand someone like you, and they didn't know that. Because if they knew that, they would have asked for assistance, or they would have asked for advice from the right people, so that they'll know how to raise you. We really learn a lot about the world from how our parents are treating us. And have treated us when we're young. I mean, when you become older, it might not really matter anymore. But even when you become older, I think if you didn't have a good relationship with your parents, you'll still need them somehow. Like, you might not need them to be there for you, but you might need them to realize what they've done wrong. I remember uh, a few days ago, I came across a clip on TikTok of, what's this guy's name? He's a gospel. He's a gospel artist. I think his name is Franklin. Uh, in 2022 or 2023, he did a freestyle on BET where he said, uh, uh, "A lion and a lamb will bow to the goat," or something like that. I don't remember. It's Kick Franklin, Rich Franklin, or Kick Franklin. I don't know. It's a famous gospel. Is an like famous like American gospel singer. He said this other day. Uh, they were trying to like his sister just came back from prison. His sister or brother, I don't remember. So yeah, this person just came back from prison, and they were trying to help that person, and they had like an intervention for that person, you know. all his siblings were there, and his mother was there as well. And yeah, they started talking, and her mother's boyfriend, it's not his dad. She just brought this guy, this random guy that they didn't even know. So yeah, his father's boyfriend. I mean, her mother's his mother's boyfriend said something like, maybe if you were there for your mother, she wouldn't be this and that. And he got angry, and her mother just told the guy that they should leave. Like she didn't really fight for them. And some people felt like he should have, like, maybe followed his mother and brought her back, as a man. But I could hear the pain in his voice. I'd realized that it means that she's been like that his whole life. Like, he needed her to change. He needed her to realize how much they needed her. So that pain will always be there. Like it's there. Like you want his mother to realize how wrong she was, but she's never gonna say sorry. She's not conscious enough to realize that she was wrong. I mean, 9 out of 10 times, if a parent does not have a good relationship with their children, it's their fault. 9 out of 10 times. I mean, they're the ones who brought them into this world, and they're the ones who raised them. And children are innocent, and when they're young, they're very vulnerable. They don't know much. So if they are not being raised right, that might traumatize them, and that might make it hard for them to have a good connection with their parents. We are programmed to want to have a good relationship with our parents. Every human being is programmed like that. So usually, I'm not saying there are no children who just were bad. Like, the parents tried everything and the children just sucked. That does happen, but it's rare. And as a parent, you should have been ready for that. Like, if you brought children into this world, you must be ready for anything and know that how you're gonna um, be there for children that suck. Like, you should have expected that, because it's possible. It's not like you didn't know that was possible. I mean, if you're gonna decide to be a parent, you must be ready for anything. You must be ready for anything, because anything is possible. I think everyone should learn from John Cena. He is truly an inspiration. He could have had more than 20 kids if he wanted to. Easily. More than 100. Easily. I mean, he's been like the biggest WWE superstar for decades. I mean, when I was growing up, John Cena was like the biggest WWE superstar. Like, everyone knew. Like, you could never ask anyone about John Cena and they say they don't know. Like, people now be like Roman Reigns, but then if you ask people who are older now about Roman Reigns, they might not even know the guy. But if you ask children about John Cena, they know. Even if they're like, hey, now Roman Reigns is the guy. John Cena is the most famous WWE superstar. Even more famous than The Rock. Like, he is the most famous WWE. Like, he is that guy. So that means he made a lot of money. And he's a famous movie star. Like, he made great movies too. Like he's a good actor. So that means he made millions. He's good financially. So really, if he wanted to have more than 100 kids, he could have had more than 100 kids. But he decided that he's not even going to have one kid. Because he doesn't think he will be able to. Meaning that he understands that him being famous isn't enough. It's not like, yeah, I'm famous. I can just give my kid whatever they want. Like, when I was growing up, I didn't have what I wanted. I mean, I remember I watched his audition. Like, when he was auditioning for WWE. It was WWF at the time, I think. Yeah. You could see that nigga was broke. He ain't have nothing. So you could easily uh, believe that money is enough. Like, yeah, I do have a lot of money. I'll be able to support my kid financially, so my kid will be fine. They'll have what I didn't have. I'll be able to give my kid what they didn't have. Like, nah, man. We need to think about what it really means to bring a conscious being into this world, an innocent being into a world like this. This being that didn't ask to be brought into a world like this. We are the ones who've been in this world who have seen what goes on here. So we need to think. It's crazy that society laughs at people when they say they don't want to have children. People will be shocked when you say you don't want to have children. Like, people will be shocked. You're like, bro, y'all should be worshiping me. Like, seriously, you guys should kneel down and actually start worshiping me for thinking the way that I think. Because people have been making a lot of mistakes. And that's why we are in the mess that we're in today. I remember I had a conversation with someone a few months back about why South Africa is in the state that it's in today. I was like, Nelson Mandela made a very big mistake because he said that people will be given money if they have children. Right? Like, if you have a child and you don't have a job, you'll be given money to take care of it. Like, nah, that's the money that you're being given, first of all, is not enough. So it gets to a point where people are just being encouraged to have children even if they do not have jobs, even if they can't take care of their children. That's what led to the mess that we're in today, because there's too many people and there isn't enough jobs. You see, so what do people do? They have to work shitty jobs, And I want y'all guys to understand, I'm not against having a job. I've made a video about why 9 to 5 is a lie. People hate their jobs. Yes, people hate their jobs because they're forced to take anything. They're forced to do what they do not want to do in order to survive. Because there's too many of us. You are not even encouraged to follow your dreams because there's too many humans. But if we live in a world where there weren't too many humans, people would be able to do what they really want to do, and it wouldn't feel like they're actually working. Like, they'll just be having fun. But now we are really in a red race because there's too many of us. If you don't work, you're gonna suffer. And people who are on top are taking advantage of that. They're like, hey, there are too many broke people, so we don't gotta really care about them. Like, we are winning, we're good. They have to go through hell and back for us. They'll do whatever we say they must do. Like, when people want jobs, they're seriously, they're desperate, so they'll do whatever they are required to do. If it means they have to take a course that's gonna last for 8 years, yeah, they will, because they want a job. If it means that they're gonna be paid peanuts, they will still work because they want money. If it means that they won't be able to be with their family when they want to be with their family, they will still work because they need money. So we are being taken advantage of because we don't think. Me not having children is the wisest decision that I've ever made. I want y'all to get that. I know my situation. I know what I've been through. I know what I saw. I know what it's like to not have the things that you want. I know what it's like to be talented and want your parents to buy you a computer so you can learn how to produce music and they can't buy you a computer. I know what it's like to ask your parents to buy you a piano and they can't buy a piano. I know what it's like to go to someone's house and they have a piano and you learn how to play it and you're like, damn, this will make my life better. Like if I had this, I'd feel much better. And then you go home and your parents can't afford it. I know what that's like. And I was raised by parents who loved me. I mean, they still love me. My parents love me. And they did the best that they can. Right? They did the best that they can. But what we must realize is that everything counts. Everything counts. So when I look at my situation, I can see that, even if I didn't think that having children was not a great idea because of uh, how the world is today. Because let's be honest, like the world is not in a good state right now. Like even if I felt like the world was in a good state, it would still not be a good idea for me to have children. I'd not have enough money. It does matter how much money I have. I wouldn't say I will be able to be there for my kid, whenever they need me. I have a lot of things that I want to do, just like, what John Cena, The difference between me and him is that I'm broke, he isn't, but still I have a lot of things to do. In fact, um, I have a lot of work to do compared to him. Like he's already done a lot. He's 47. He could easily have children. He's in great shape. He's healthy, but he still thinks. Most people, uh, like they'll be surprised, like they'll be shocked when you tell them that you don't want to have children, even if they're the ones who ask you. It's not like I walk around telling people that I don't want to have children. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't walk around telling people that I don't want to have children. But people do ask, and I tell them the truth that hey, I don't want to have children. I think this world is not like I don't. I'm not optimistic about the future. Like I'm not optimistic about the future, and I don't think I have enough to give them to make their lives actually meaningful, because it would be wrong to bring people into this world so that they would suffer. They'll have to deal with some crazy challenges that they didn't want to deal, that they didn't ask to deal with in the first place. It's not like there are kids that are like, yeah, I wanna deal with challenges that people deal with on earth. No, it will be me who will have made that decision. That will be like me creating a clone of myself, if I was able to, that also that's gonna have its own consciousness. I'll be wrong to do that. I mean, even though, like, I would have been the one who would have made the decision, so that will kind of like mean that the vision of me that made the decision is the vision of me that was cloned. But that clone wouldn't really be like me, because they will experience the clone will experience life from his own perspective and it wouldn't remember making the choice, so that will mean that he will be different, right? Because he doesn't have my memories, so he's going to view things differently. So it will be perfect if before, like if we were able to like um, time travel, and before making that clone, we could go into the future and ask him if he actually wants to be created. Like that would be dope. Because even if me and my clone are identical, it wouldn't really mean we are really the same. My clone will experience life differently. There are things that I already know about existence. I have my own philosophies about existence. My clone will start to learn about the world like a child, so they will view life differently. It will actually be possible that I create a clone of myself that will end up wanting to have children, even though I do not want to have children. And that is why when people say, "You choose to be here, you choose to be here," like this new age people, they believe that we chose to be here. I tell them that, hey, if you don't remember making the choice to be here, you are a new being. If you don't remember your past life, you are a new being. That is why you find that some people are, even if that was true, even if we did choose to be here before we came here, that's why you find that some people don't feel that way. They don't feel like they made a choice to be here. It's because once you become a new person, you start thinking differently. You're not going to think the way that you used to think if you don't have your memories. So you become a new person. So if you're a new person, then you are a new person. We cannot say you chose to be. If you are a new person, we cannot say that my clone chose to be cloned. No, I'm the one who chose for my clone to be made. It's not the clone itself that actually chose to be made. Is it? So it doesn't make sense to think that people chose this. So we need to be thoughtful as people. So that really, if we think we must be having children, we're gonna raise them right, rather than putting people through hell and expecting them to function very well in society. That's unfair. That's unrealistic. People are just trying to keep their shit together, bro. Like people are doing well internally. They're just trying to keep their shit together. They've been through hell. They've been through hell and back. So they're like, yeah, I just gotta be strong. I just gotta be strong. But I'm hurting. I'm in pain. I've been through so much that I can't feel good no matter what. There are people who just can't feel good no matter what. No matter what you give them, you can give them millions, they still won't feel good. That's why J. Cole said, I hope. He said, so I'm like, mm, I love you, little niggas. I'm glad that you came. I hope that you know that money won't erase the pain. Something like that. Like, he was giving props to the new guys in hip hop. Like, yeah, I hope you scraped every dollar you can. Right? But I hope you also realize that money will not erase the pain. Because, of course, a lot of you have been through hell. You grew up in the project. So, of course, you've been through hell. So, I hope you understand that it's not the money that's going to erase the pain. Maybe you must find different ways to try to erase the pain, but money ain't going to erase the pain. I do have money. I've been in the game for a while. And the pain is still there. And he's not lying because, people who are broke hate on celebrities when they say money doesn't buy happiness. Like, hey, just give it to me if money doesn't buy happiness, so you don't know where to shop. Like that, man. It doesn't. You've just been broke your whole life, so you think if you had money, you'd heal. Like, nah. Yeah, for a while you will feel better. That's 100% true, and the quality of your life will improve. But that doesn't mean that you'd feel much happier. Because people think that if their quality of life actually improved, they'll feel much happier. Like, nah, it doesn't really work that way, to be honest. Like, one of the biggest reasons why people are not happy is because they've been through hell. I remember in the video that I published yesterday, I was talking about that I've been through hell. I no longer feel the way that I used to because of what I have been through. There's something inside me that actually died, that used to be alive, that used to, make me excited about this, but it died, and I can't bring it back to life. So no matter what I get to have, I just don't feel happy. I just don't feel excited. I don't even celebrate my wins. Like, good things really do happen, and I don't even celebrate. It feels like nothing. I know intellectually that what has happened is actually great, but I don't feel like what happened is great, right? Like, great things happen, and I know that what happened is great, but I don't feel like what happened is great. Like, I don't feel the way that I used to feel when I was a kid when great things happened, because there's something that died, that used to be alive, that used to, make me feel excited. When people go through hell, even if things do get to work out for them in the end, it doesn't mean that that's going to make up for what they've been through. Cole knew what he was talking about. When M says he's unhappy now, he knows what. Like, you look at him, he's the best, bro. I don't care what anyone says. I think M is the best rapper. Like, I think the best rapper to ever live is Tupac, and that's because what it's not because of the punchlines. They didn't have punchlines. It's not because of the lyrics. It was not a great lyricist, but the reason why we expect people to be great lyricists, the reason why we expect like rappers to like have punchlines, uh, is because that can make them great rappers. Pac was a great rapper, even though he didn't like have like these punchlines, these great lyrics. He was just he had a little bit of everything. So he was like the most complete rapper, in my opinion. It's like Khabib in the UFC. He had a little bit of, he was like a great grappler, but he had a little bit of everything. But then when it comes to grappling, it was next level. So I would say that's kind of like Pac. Pac had this energy about him. Like, his voice was very powerful. Like, that was his biggest weapon. Like, he could do anything with his voice. Whether you like hip hop or don't like hip hop, you still like hearing him rap. Like, he could ride any beat very well. He could flow very well. Like, it sounded very good on a beat. He didn't have to rhyme. He didn't have to have great punchlines. He didn't have to have great lyrics. He just had to rap. Like, his energy on the mic was next level. But yeah, I'd say M is like the second greatest of all time. He he could really spit, and there are a lot of people who would say he's the greatest. But dude is unhappy, for real. Like, he's not lying. You can see that dude is not like happy. He's got money. He just dropped an album like a month ago, and it did very well. My favorite song is Fool. Like, he killed it on that song, and a lot of people love, you know, other songs in the album. I just like Fool. For like, Fool was insane. Like, GID killed it. Like, that verse was insane. M's verse was insane. It was better than GID's verse. You know, it doesn't matter what you go through, bro. So if you have children and you raise them the way that children should be raised, you are there for them, you support them. When they need you, you're there. They know that you love them. You are their hero when they're young. So, and then you're there. Like, they don't ever feel like sometimes when they need you, you're not there. Like, you're there. when they need something and you see that, yeah, they really need this thing, it can really help them, you are able to buy them what they need. You're able to give them what they need. No excuses. I don't have money, I don't have money. Why did you have kids if you don't have money? So yeah, you'll be able to afford what they want. You are there for them. You are there for them financially. You're able to support them. You are able to take them places. They don't feel like anything is missing. If you have a little girl, she doesn't feel like she needs. Like when she grows up, she's not gonna feel like she needs a man. She's alright. You're a good dad. Most girls who become strippers, who become prostitutes, are girls who weren't treated well by their fathers. Like they didn't have a good father figure. Most women who are in abusive relationships and they can't leave these guys are women who haven't been treated right by their fathers. So they kind of used to not being treated right. Let's not lie to ourselves. It does count how you have been raised. It does count how you've been treated when you were young. Some people think that being bullied makes you stronger. It does make you stronger for society. Like if you get bullied a lot and you survive, you might actually end up being a great person for society. You end up helping a lot of people because you will have suffered so much that you understood things that you weren't even supposed to understand as a child. So you become more conscious than other kids. But that doesn't really mean that you will have healed. That doesn't mean that the pain will have went away. We don't even know how to heal ourselves as humans. We weren't taught how to heal ourselves. We've been taught like when we're young, we're being taught how to be workers. When we go through tough times, we're not really being taught how to heal, how to deal with the problems that we have, because they don't really care if we get to heal. They don't really care if we're going to be healthy adults. As long as we're able to do what they want us to do, they're good. If you're going to work, that's good. It doesn't matter if you're broken. It doesn't matter if you're unhappy, as long as you're able to work. In fact, if you are broken and unhappy, you probably will do your job very well because, well, that's all that you have. But if you are happy, you kind of like, you would realize that if your job is shit, you realize that your job is shit because it makes you unhappy. You're a happy person, but then your job makes you unhappy. So you're like, no, I want a job that makes me happy. I don't want a job that's killing me slowly. But if you're already dead inside, you can do any job. Like you're already dead inside, so whatever job they give you, you hide. Kids who ain't raised right tend to settle for less than they deserve because they don't believe that they deserve better. Because, well, they weren't being treated right when they were growing up. So, if you have kids and you're not treating them right, you are actually setting a standard for how the world should treat them, for what they actually should accept, how much BS they should accept. You see, if you have children and you're treating them so well, what's going to happen is that they're going to expect to be treated well. So if they meet people who are not going to treat them well, then they're going to leave these people. Be like, no. I've never been treated like you're treating me. No way. I want someone who's going to treat me better. That is why when abusive men hit women who've never been hit before, like my dad has never hit me. My dad has never hit me. Like they can't take that. But if they grew up in a household where their dad is busy, bam, every problem, bam, they get used to that, right? So when they get used to that, it's normal to them. They start to believe that that's how men are. Men do that sometimes. So they accept that kind of treatment. You see the problem? That is why a lot of people are taking shit from the world, right? When the world treats them like shit, they take it like, yeah, because they weren't treated right by their parents. So they believe that they deserve to be treated the way that the world is treating them. But seriously, though, people who take so much shit from the world are people who were not treated right when they were growing up. Especially by the people who should have treated them right. And the people that should have treated them right are their parents. If they weren't raised by their biological parents, um, the people who would have who they've like looked up to, right? The people that they would have looked up to, those are the people who should have treated them right. So what you do as a parent, if you have children, is that you set the bar so damn high that your children ain't gonna settle for anything less, because they know how people should be treated. They know what it's like to be treated well. I was having a conversation with this other guy about like his girlfriend doesn't like treat him well. You can see that she's not really into him. And I was telling him that, like if you found a girl that loved you before in your life, you would know that she's not treating you well. Like you think she's treating you well because you've never had a girl that actually loved you, right? So you like, this is how girls treat guys that they love, that they love. Like, nah, dude, no. There are guys that she treated better than she's treating you, and there are guys that she'll treat better than she's treating you. She's not rude. She doesn't. I mean, people have issues. Everyone have issues, but it's not because she has issues. She's just not really into you. You're just not the one. But then you're telling yourself that you are the one because she keeps on coming up with some BS explanations. So why she's treating you the way that she's treating you. Like she also notices that she's not treating you how you should be treated as a man. But if you had a woman who set the bar very high, you'd realize that, nah, man, the way that I'm being treated, nah, this is crap. I'm leaving this relationship because there's no way that I'm gonna accept this if I know what it's like to be treated well. The parents who don't treat their children well are wrong, and they set their kids up for mistreatment because they're gonna end up accepting being mistreated, right? Because well, you've mistreated them when you were raising them, so that feels normal. most of the problems that we have as a society, we can solve them by just acknowledging the truth. If you can say that you're not gonna be a good father, be like John Cena and be like, I'm not gonna be a good father. And the reason why John Cena really touched my heart is because he's doing very well. Like, if someone who's doing as well as John, like, he's doing better than more than 99.9% of men. Like, he's really on top. He's really on top. But he's like, I'm not sure if I will be able to be there for my kid. Like, the world that we live in is a cruel, uncaring place, bro. Like, if you're gonna bring a child into this world, you must love them, show them love, because this world, this world ain't really gonna show your children love. So you're the one who should give love to your children, so that they'll know what it's like to be loved, so that they'll know what to seek for when they grow up and end up not settling for less. John Cena understands that very well. And I don't know how he grew up. I don't know how his upbringing was. I don't really think he's spoken about that, but he might have learned a lot from the failures of his parents. Like, his parents might have not have raised him the way that he wanted to be raised, and he might have learned a lot from that too. We need to learn from our parents' mistake. We need to learn from those who came before us. Not just our parents, but just people in general. We should learn from everyone. Learn from our parents, also learn from their parents, learn from those who came before them, learn from other people's parents. That's good. That's how we should be as people. We should learn so that we'll make good decisions, not decisions that are going to lead to failure. We end up praying. We end up allowing these fake prophets to scam us because our lives suck so bad that we're so damn desperate that we need help. When you're in a desperate situation, you like believe anything, right? Like, if you're really in a desperate situation, like really, really in a desperate situation, because you have a lot, because you've like not that you have a lot to lose, like you have nothing to lose because you have already lost. You do anything. Like, the more desperate you are, the more vulnerable you are to being manipulated. But if you're not desperate, it won't be easy for people to manipulate you because you're not desperate. You'll be able to see the red flags from miles away. Like, yeah, nah. But if you're desperate, you don't really got a choice. So if a pastor tells you that, hey, drink this alcohol, this is holy alcohol, drink it, and you be alright, and don't even drink alcohol, you drink it because you're desperate. You drink the holy alcohol. We shouldn't put our children in desperate situations. If our children speak as if I have children, but if you have children, I'm one of the people that you should be listening to. because like John Cena, a lot of kids love me. And when I was working as a teacher, I feel like I was treating them better than the other teachers. Like I was able to pay attention. Like if a kid had a problem, I would like try to figure out what the real problem is. Like I wouldn't be mad at them. I wouldn't be impatient with them. Like I'll try to understand. Remember there was this kid that was so damn angry. She couldn't like when the teacher said she should do it at classwork because every kid was doing it classwork. She wouldn't. Like she wouldn't say anything. I was like, you know what? I need to talk to this kid. She wouldn't even say anything. Like she would not say anything. She would be like this. The teachers would try to beat her. She would just be like this. She would not. I've never seen anything like that before. Like she would not even cry. Okay, she was up there. And I remember this other day, like her teacher, me and her teacher were like friends. I was like, let me talk to this kid. I started talking to this kid. She was not like responding at first, but I just continued to talk to her, paying attention to her um, body language, like how does she feel when I'm talking to her, and I could see that she actually does enjoy that I'm talking to her, even though she's not like responding. I was like, I think you can draw. Like by looking at you, I think you can draw. Can I see your drawing book? And then she looked at her school bag because she wanted me to open her school bag, right? And I opened it, and she wasn't bad, but I had to just, I had to compliment her. Your drawings are beautiful. Uh, Keep on drawing because I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I want to see more of your drawing, because I think you have talent. You should keep on working on that. And then she did this. I left. The next day I went back to her, started talking to her, and she started to kind of like respond, and she became comfortable, more and more comfortable, and she started to do what other kids were doing. So I would be a good parent because I understand. I understand. Like I'll try to understand you no matter who you are, no matter how you are. I'll try to understand you because I think the deepest form of love is understanding. I've been telling you all this, guys, that the deepest form of love is understanding. The reason why people can't really connect with one another is because they don't understand one another. Like people don't understand one another, and that really sucks. If you understood the people that you do not like, you'd cry. Think about the people who don't like you. Do you think if they really understood you, they wouldn't be touched somehow? Like, because we don't understand one another as people. They look at you and they'll be like, "Oh, that person is mean. That person is hateful. That person is crazy. That person is stupid. That person thinks they're better than everyone else. That person is this and that." They don't, and that's not understanding. That's not even close to understanding. But if they really understood you, they'll be like, "Whoa, I get it now. I get it now." This society broke each and every person who's here, bruh. And we're not doing things the way that we need to be doing things. So people are broken, right? People are broken. So they don't behave as well as they could because they're broke. Like they don't behave the way that we expect them to behave, or the way that they could have they could have been behaving if they weren't broken. Everyone is in pain, bro. Everyone is like this now, trying to protect themselves. They're scared because they've been hurt so many times. I've been hurt so many times, you know. They were innocent in the beginning. They were very they trusted other people in the beginning, and they were optimistic in the beginning. They believed in this world in the beginning, but that experiences taught them not to believe in this world. The experiences taught them not to believe in other people. The experiences taught them to be alone, to not open up, you know. This world teaches you that, really. Like, imagine if you open up to other people and they start gossiping about you. You're like, what? Imagine loving someone and they break your heart. Like, bruh, they don't care. Imagine. Will it be easy for you to love? Will it be easy for you to open up? Will it be easy for you to believe in humanity? No. People are broken. We need to understand why they are the way that they are. That's how we'll be able to love them. You cannot love what you don't understand. It's impossible. Don't let anyone lie to you. It is impossible to love what you do not understand. It's impossible. What happens is that you just see something that makes you feel good and you feel like you love it, but you don't love it. You love how you feel. But when you understand something, you love it. You see things from its perspective. I'm telling you, the deepest form of love is understanding. But people are raised by parents who don't understand them. What do we expect? They've been misunderstood their whole lives. Get to a point where they just don't care anymore. They're like, hey man, this sucked. I don't know what to do. Like, this really did suck. Because it did suck. And they do not have like what they call victim mentality. Things just really did suck for them. You know, it's not their fault. It's the truth. It would be good that we acknowledge the truth instead of lying to ourselves. As if there's something that we are actually benefiting from lying to ourselves. There's nothing to benefit from the lies that we're telling ourselves. The truth is simple, bruh. It's the lies that we're telling ourselves that are complicated. It's the lies that we're telling ourselves that complicates things. It's not the truth. The truth doesn't complicate things. It's the lies that complicate things. Every lie that you tell complicates things. Ever realize that? Like, if you tell a lie, that's going to complicate things. Because you're going to have to keep on lying. Keep on making things complicated. But if you are honest, if you speak the truth, if you are real, things aren't going to be complicated. The lies that you tell yourself, they complicate things. You're going to have to keep on telling yourself lies. By the time you realize that you're tired of telling yourself lies and you decided to embrace the truth will be too much for you. That's why people hate the truth. Now the truth is too much for them because they've been lying to themselves their whole life. So they're like, hey man, I can't face the truth right now, man. Like I lied to myself so much that I can't embrace the truth right now. Nah, F the truth. I'm just gonna continue lying to myself. Like this is better. This is the better road to take. If I decided to turn now, I'm not sure if I would be able to, recover. We need to be honest with ourselves as people. Thank you, guys.